The beautiful Oasis of Anubis has some insanely powerful pop flashes that can get you some easy kills and keep the round wins coming in. I use these flashes to make the other team absolutely miserable staring at their white screens. Use this video to learn the CT side flashes so you're confident holding your bomb sites and racking up huge numbers of enemies flashed. This video has defensive, offensive and retake flashes and starts at mid, then moves to B site and finally A site. So let's start with flashes for holding mid. There's some excellent pop flashes here that you can use by yourself to peek, or to flash a teammate out and kick off every round with a bang. From this corner, look up to this light stone here and left click throw. This flash has the perfect timing to be a self flash, letting you or a teammate swing out mid and blinding anyone playing along bridge or top mid. If you're already a little closer, you can instead come into this corner by the doors, aim at this little nubbin, crouch and jump throw. This will again blind anyone playing bridge or top mid, absolutely destroying them, and can also make them think that you'll be peeking from the double door as it comes from there. If you've fallen back to mid, you can do this self pop flash to help reclaim mid and kill any pushing Ts. Come up these stairs and stop at the start of this wood, turn around and crouch, then aim down at this line, move so it's just above the step, and crouch right click jump throw. The flash is going to smash into this window and pop out here, blinding anyone in mid. You can swing out in front of it without being blinded and the teams are going to have very little time to react. It works even better if you break the window at the start of the round, flashing a little deeper and without making any noise. If you're rotating round from B with a teammate and you need to flash into mid, you can come up to this wall, aim just at the bottom of this string of leaves, and jump throw. This will fly over into the middle and it's going to blind any Ts in that area for you. Over to B to look at some defensive flashes to help you hold the B site. If you're playing from Ninja or backside, there's 4 insanely OP pop flashes you can use when the Ts are trying to push in. From Ninja, come into this back corner, aim just to the right of this little dot, and right click jump throw. Alternatively, if you need to stay tucked in, turn around, aim just to the right of the middle of this orange triangle, and jump throw. Both will land on top of the arch above you, so anyone looking at Ninja or back Plat is going to get completely blinded by this, letting you swing out for some easy kills for you and your team. These flashes are also great to layer, throwing multiple while your team picks off the Ts. They're so powerful against pushing Ts that they'll soon be scared to even come to this bomb site. Then if you're playing more to the right, on back Plat or on site, you can use these 2 pop flashes. If you're behind this pillar, tuck yourself into it, then aim at the bottom of this blue line, just next to this crack in the pillar, and throw. It's going to pop just past the middle of the site, giving the Ts no time to react to it and fully blinding anyone coming into the site. For the other one, come in behind the site, aim to the right of the sun, and right click throw. This drops in the same spot, again fully blinding any Ts coming in. And for those eager CTs that want to play aggressive, here's some pop flashes that'll let you take ground and surprise the Ts. You can pop flash yourself or a teammate into Ebox by coming into this corner, aiming to the left of this stone and onto the edges of these bricks, and left click throw. If you're quick, you can follow this in and it will pop flash anyone playing anywhere inside of Ebox. You can then continue the push to Canals by coming into this wall, aiming at this broken brick here, and right click jump throwing. This pops just beneath the stairs, so as long as you don't run too far forward, you can peek with this without having to turn away. The Ts out here in Canals can do absolutely nothing about this. And for the other side of B site, you can flash a mate out into long from street by coming into this corner, aiming at the bottom of this pillar and doing a jump throw. This fully blinds anyone out in long, making for some easy kills for the good guys. You can layer this with a second flash over the top of the wall, just aim where all the top bricks corners meet and jump throw. This will pop while your mate is fighting, blinding the Ts again and giving your mate a chance to pick up even more kills. As this pops above the wall, he's completely safe from it, though it's a little bit less effective as it blinds slightly less positions. For both of these flashes, just make sure you're further from the wall than you think, as the nade clipping here is not well clipped to the wall, so it can bounce off and make you feel very sad. Lastly, if you're instead around temple, you can make 2 flashes for your teammates from safe areas. As you come out of temple, come into this rounded part of the wall, aim at this top dot and jump throw. Alternatively, if you're on site and need to quickly get a flash out long from anywhere around this position, just look at the very top of the wall above this hole in the wall and W throw. Both these flashes are going to sail through the hole in the wall, blinding all the Ts in long that aren't playing in Ivy or close to the wall directly underneath the flash. And over on A, we've got even more lovely pop flashes to lock down the site. If you're posted in heaven and you want to re-peek after the Ts start running in, you can bounce a flash off of this pillar, which is going to land perfectly to blind all the Ts coming in, letting you safely re-peek and pick up more frags while waiting for your teammates to rotate back in to help. If you're in mid and your A player is calling contact, you can come down these steps into camera and throw a flash off this pillar at the back here. It pops behind another pillar, so anyone playing on site or in heaven isn't going to get blinded, but the Ts will absolutely eat this flash. You can layer these by throwing a second one into fountain to the left here to layer them up while your A player takes the easy fights from the fully blind Ts. It's a really great flash to help out your A player and keep that site on lockdown, and you'll find your A site becomes a really scary place for the Ts to push into. Then for the more aggressive CTs among us, you can support your teammate pushing out to water by coming up here in heaven, aiming just at this brick and left click throwing the flash out this window. It bounces on this balcony, it's going to fully blind anyone playing in the water and looking towards A main, letting your teammate peek out and pick up some frags. It's a fantastic flash they just won't see coming, blinds the whole of water. It can be a really great way to layer flashes as well, letting your teammate just pop out while they're getting constantly blinded. And if you want to push by yourself, you can self-pop flash your way out to water by run jump throwing a flash off of this part of the wall and when you reach this part of the wall. This is going to bounce to the right over the wall and pop flash anyone in the water looking towards A main. It's a really powerful flash that gets all these positions. It can get you some really good kills and a lot of enemies flashed. So you've got all the flashes you need to hold wherever you're playing, whether in mid, A site, B site, you're a monster. The T's are afraid of you, they stop hitting your site. So what happens now when your teammates who haven't seen this video can't hold their site? How are you going to help them when the T's barrel in? That's where retake flashes come in. Flashes to get you back into those sites so you can clear out the T's and defuse that bomb. Let's start with B site. You've got 4 paths you can retake the site from: CT, Palace, B long, or Canals. Here's one flash from each spot to help you with that retake. When retaking from CT, either through sniper or cave, you can clear angles one by one until you reach the site, but then you're in a crossfire. So the best time to use your flashes are when you have to step out into multiple angles at the same time. Luckily for Street, there's an insanely powerful pop flash that obliterates anyone holding for a CT push. For that, fight your way from sniper or cave into Street. From here you can quickly come into this corner, crouch and aim just here, hold mouse 1 and mouse 2 and crouch jump throw. This will fly over the pillar, popping just behind it, keeping you safe and blinding anyone in temple, backside, Ebox, Plat or B long. They could all see you at the same time as you come through this alley. It's an incredibly powerful flash, it gives you a fighting chance of retaking this site. Ideally couple this with a smoke to B long and a molly on default for a really great retake. When retaking from temple, you've got the similar issues of sightlines from B long, Plat and backside all at the same time. To help you take care of them and fight your way out into sight, you can flash off this corner, giving you a little breathing room as you go into the site. When coming in from long, it's very similar to the T flashes for taking the site, with 2 main locations for them to pop. If you're with more of your team, my favourite flash is to come just past the doors, look straight up and bring yourself just under the right of this decoration. Then look above the gaps between second and third tooth from the right and jump throw. You'll see this one pops right next to the archway where your teammate will come in from and fully blind anyone trying to fight him. Alternatively, from over in this corner, you can do a nice double flash combo. Aim at the second tooth here and throw, then aim at this center leaf here and jump throw. And if you want to flash from really close that you can use a flash for yourself, come into this corner by the leaf, aim here just to the left of this dot and jump throw. All of these flashes will pop either up here or in through the windows. They're going to blind a lot of positions on the site, helping your team push in, and they can be thrown as your team's pushing in, making the T's lives really difficult. From Canals, you've got a really tricky spot to enter from over by Ebox. As you come in, you could have a guy playing close right, one at the door, one on the side, one on the back of Plat. It's hard to get a single flash that can blind all of these areas, so I've got a double self-pop flash to give you a good chance. Come up to this corner on the right side of the canal to throw both flashes. For the first, aim from the middle of this line up to the bottom of this beam, and for the second, aim at the bottom left intersection of these 2 lines. For the first, hold left and right mouse, then tap W and throw. For the second, just left click throw. You need to turn away from the first flash and then you can follow it in. Anyone playing close right is going to get 2 pop flashes to the face, and anyone playing close to the door, on the side or on the Plat are going to get nicely blinded by the second flash. And then over on the A site, we've got 3 lanes coming in from CT, from middle, and from water. So let's get set up with a retake flash from all sides. If you've managed to get to heaven from CT, you can get a great pop flash onto site by coming up into this part of the wall, aiming just here on the pillar and left click throwing. This will bounce off and blind a large portion of the A site. If you're able to, you can throw 2 of these and then swing out of heaven or at bricks to pick up some blind T's and start your retake. If you're coming in from mid, you can throw a flash off the top middle of this orange sheet when you hit this line on the ground by coming in, tapping shift and left click throwing. This flash is quite telegraphed, so it's not a pop, but it does hit a large area of the site without you needing to turn away, so it can be a great one to push into the A site with. Now lastly, if you're coming in hot from water, the flashes are pretty much the same as the T-Site A execute. Jump over on top of this lovely mini box and aim just to the left of this blue tiled area and throw the flash so it bounces off the window ledge just underneath. This flash flies in, blinding a fair few spots on the A site, but is hidden from your team completely, so they'll have no issues just pushing in and taking fights. And if you still have the utility by this point, you can couple this with a couple smokes and a molly to give you a really powerful retake, and just layer on those flashes as your team pushes in. So those are all the CT flashes I think are extremely useful and actually worth learning. If you found this useful, like and subscribe, and look out shortly for the sibling video on the best T-side flashes for Anubis, as well as the guides for all the other maps coming soon. I really hope you enjoyed it.